foremost the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, represented very ably by our elder brother, an erudite scholar, an accomplished public servant, Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed. Thank you, sir, for the services you are rendering to our country. The representative of the Minister of the FCT, who is also the Mandate Secretary for Agriculture, Alhaji Lawal Gaidam, the Honorable Minister of Livestock Development, my older brother and my neighbor for many, many years. He congratulated me when I became minister, and little did he know that he was also going to the queue. And I think our street is so blessed to have produced two ministers in the same cabinet. Thank you, sir, for coming. The Honorable Minister of State for Agriculture, my brother, you introduced me as Alhaji Mala and Ustaz all wrapped together. I don't know which one, but you're also an Ustaz. So I will introduce you, distinguished Senator Ustaz Savi Aliyu. Thank you for the work you are doing together with the Honorable Minister of Agriculture to ensure the availability, affordability, and accessibility of food to our people. The representatives of the state governors, Borno, Kaduna especially, here are present. The Permanent Secretary, Acting Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Information and National Orientation, Mrs. Comfort, very consummate public officer. The Director General of the FRCN and all the DGs here present, NTA, Voice of Nigeria, MBC, the MD of News Agency of Nigeria, Alcon, all of you. Thank you for coming. But I must also recognize some of the past DGs here. I'm seeing in the second row Dr. Garba Abari. Thank you for the services you have rendered, especially at the National Orientation Agency. And thank you for always calling me to ask me how I'm faring. I met him as Director General of the National Orientation Agency. He left not so long afterwards, but he still calls me at least once a month to ask me how I was doing and to also offer advice. This is how public service should be. Thank you for all those pieces of advice you've given, Dr. Abari. Our royal fathers, the Emir of Zazzau, Alhaji Nuhu Bamali, thank you. And I want to assure you that your daughter is doing very well in my house. She has no complaint, otherwise she will have gone back to Zazzau by now. The royal father, the Emir of Wasi, Alhaji Dr. Muhammadu Saidu, thank you for coming. The president of the Nigerian School of Public Relations, Dr. Neliaku, the representative of the chief of the air staff, our own Sagebok here, the ranks. I will be clever and smart not to call it because it is. I don't want to be court-martial this morning. So Kutai Haya, former SSG, former commissioner, and someone who has worked together with Professor Jega to bring about the blueprint for the agricultural sector in Nigeria. The former DG of Voice of Nigeria, always around to also offer his advice. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the protocol list is so long. Permit me to please cut it. It is with a great sense of honor and duty that I welcome all of you invited guests, the guest lecturer, Professor Abba Gambo of the University of Maiduguri, the team of discussants, management and staff of the FRCN, to yet another edition of this year's annual lecture series. The lecture series has evolved into a flagship platform for intellectual discourse on matters of national importance, ranging from political to socio-economic issues. Food security in Nigeria, which way forward, could not be more timely. True to its slogan, uplifting the people, uniting the nation, the FRCN has consistently demonstrated its commitment to national development, not only through its dynamic and compelling programming, but also through impactful initiatives like this year's annual lecture, which brings stakeholders together for meaningful conversation around very important national issues. Food security is not just a development issue, it is a national security imperative, touching on our survival, stability, and sovereignty as a nation. It is in that realization that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, upon assumption of office, renamed the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to the new Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Nigeria, blessed with vast arable land, favorable climatic conditions, and a youthful population, has the potential to be a global agricultural powerhouse. Yet, we faced very significant challenge in attempting affordability and self-sufficiency in food production. This ongoing challenge is what has informed the special attention that the President is paying to this very important sector, which happens to be the biggest employer of labor in our country today. I am confident that the guest lecturer and the esteemed panelists here will provide a comprehensive analysis of the challenges facing the agricultural sector and other related sectors in this country. While their insights will undoubtedly highlight critical areas for improvement, it is essential to emphasize some of the key initiatives already been undertaken by this administration in achieving food security. Indeed, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture has already outlined many of them. There is no use going over them all. But let me say that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had early on in the life of his administration brought about 3 key agricultural interventions. The first one is the declaration of a state of emergency on food security in Nigeria. The second, setting up of an intervention project on food security, and sustainability. And the third one, checkmating the activities of saboteurs, especially those who are holding and smugglers of food and other commodities. But let me also add that the creation of the Ministry of Livestock Development is also an indication of the President's desire to ensure that we are not just self-sufficient in production, in nutrition, but also providing jobs for our teeming youth population. As the Minister of Information and National Orientation, I must emphasize the critical role that the media can play in promoting food security in the country. In this regard, the FRCN and other media platforms are integral part of the renewed awareness and renewed focus on raising awareness and educating farmers on modern techniques, climate change adaptability, as well as various government interventions available to help to increase their yields across the country. Nigeria's path to food security is not insurmountable. Particularly through our collective resolve, we can transform our nation into a land of abundance where no Nigerian goes to bed hungry, like the president will say. Let me at this juncture commend the Director General of the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, my friend, my brother, Dr. Mohammed Bulama, and the management staff of the FRCN for your effort in galvanizing agricultural revolution across the country through a robust reportage of the agricultural sector and x-raying agricultural development on your various programs such as Let's Go Green on the network service of the FRCN and the various FM stations scattered across the country. As we look forward to a very highly educative and enlightening session today, I would like to urge the FRCN to continue to work diligently to sustain this annual lecture. I have seen that there has been a lull over a period of time, so I'm glad that Dr. Bulama and the management of FRCN is bringing this very prestigious annual lecture, bringing it back on our consciousness again. I firmly believe that Professor Gambo's lecture today will make us better enlightened and informed, together of course with his panelists, about what the situation is regarding food security. Furthermore, I'm informed that awards will be presented here today for the first time in the history of the event. I trust that all those receiving these awards will be inspired to redouble their efforts as we work together to make Nigeria a better place. This, of course, is in alignment in the spirit of the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President. Thank you very much for listening, and I wish us all a very happy deliberation. Thank you.